The Eugene Emeralds are closing in on the rest of their season, and our Briana Chavez spent some time with team staff earlier this week to learn how the weather impacts the team's training and game time prep. Check it out.
Wait, this isn't the Weather Center. Nothing like spending 6 months out of the year playing the game known as America's pastime. Some of those games are played in extreme weather conditions. For the Eugene Emeralds, it's no different. The team starts in Arizona with spring training in April, then heads back to Eugene when the season kicks off. 2 different weather environments.
The challenging one is always the cold one. If you have a lot of guys from Latin American countries where it does not get as cold as it does up here.
Ems staff is challenged with getting the players ready.
The first thing we got to do is we have to get them acclimatized to it, and the best way to do that is just be outside.
It started to rain a little bit while we were working out, and I'm like, this is a great time. We're going to stay out here, we're going to be soaking wet, and they're going to be cold and chilly, and we're going to work on things like sliding and just playing catch with a wet baseball that a lot of these guys are not used to.
Nearly 10 months worth of rainfall throughout the year in Eugene, plus the thunderstorms that managed to pass over the summer months, all bringing in more concerns.
During the game, I can help monitor if we need to, is like lightning strikes and stuff like that, if that's coming in.
Then that conversation happens with the umpires at home plate and the opposing team's manager, just so that you're not caught off guard, like, hey, it might start raining about the 6th, 7th inning if the game's going the way it's supposed to, and be ready for that. And umpires just be aware, like, watch out for guys slipping and falling and, avoiding any injuries because of the weather.
When it comes to adjusting during practice, fundamentals coach Eliezer Zambrano says they take advantage of the rain breaks and windows Mother Nature offers. But when she doesn't,
we just adjust and try just to do something indoors, just to be prepared for the game and cover those little details that we need to cover before.
However, athletic trainer Joe Holstedt says living in Eugene threw him a curveball.
Air quality, because of the pollen, that I wasn't used to. One of the things we also do is we talk to our nutrition people and get local honey.
The coaching staff working to make sure the changing seasons don't take a toll on the Emerald season. And if you're headed to PK Park either today or the remainder of the weekend, here's a quick look at what to expect throughout the remainder of the day. We'll warm it up just a couple more degrees into those low 80s just in time for that first pitch. We'll start to see a little bit more of a cooling trend and continuing to see that cooling trend well into the remainder of the week. By Saturday morning, more of that cloud coverage really managing to push on in, and the potential for an isolated thunderstorm and even showers by tomorrow's first pitch, keeping it cloudy and even the occasional shower throughout the late night, early morning come Sunday. And well, for Sunday's game, we're going to keep it partly cloudy. As we head into the remainder of the weekend and even start of your work week across the board, a low pressure system slowly starting to shift on in and then pushing out before we start to see more of that clear skies in store throughout the first half of the week, and then another round of showers managing to continue to push on in, creating a little bit more moisture throughout not just the first half, but the second half of the week. So if you're looking at just how much rainfall we could expect to see, it's really not going to be a drastic shift in the sense of seeing an inch to an inch and a half, more like a tenth to possibly half an inch throughout those lower elevations in western valleys, while the coast is going to keep it a little bit clearer. Now, looking at what to expect throughout the next 7 days in Eugene specifically, we'll keep it in the 80s, some mid 70s as well throughout tomorrow, and heading into Sunday, that's when we'll start to see a little bit more relief in the sense of some clearer skies heading into the week as well with those low 80s. And this isn't the only day we've got an Ems game in store for us. Again, tomorrow at 5 and even Sunday at 5, but those daytime highs ranging anywhere from the low 80s to the mid and upper 70s. And if you can't make this weekend's games, they still got more. They'll hit the road next week, heading into the Tri-Cities for the Tri-City Dust Devils game, and the week following that, we'll start to see their return with the Everett Aqua Sox for a return back here at home. But overall, looking like it's going to be a relatively great week and weekend as we head into the remainder of the day. But Zach, I got to tell you, I learned a lot from them. I mean, they mentioned they go from training in Arizona where it's 90 to almost 100 degrees early April to then moving here within a 2-week time span is how long it takes their bodies to adjust to that cold April temperatures.
Weather, yeah. You're still in the 30s at night. I mean, and you play those games late into the evening. Imagine you go to extra innings. You're out there. I mean, he makes a good point. Those Latin American folks that come up and play for the team never experience anything like that. You're expected You ever hit a bat with in cold weather?
Ouch.
You get a jam shot? That
Ouch.
shoots all the way up the arm. Yeah, I don't need
so
any of that business.
Lots of training and lots of acclimating that it takes for those Ems.
Fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing with us. It
course.
seems like you had a good time, too.
I had so much fun getting to know them and know a little bit more into what it takes, the athleticism that it takes to be prepared for all things weather when it comes to
Next
hitting
time we're in the
turf.
stands, enjoying an adult beverage, watching
Yeah.
some baseball, we'll have a little more context to
Yeah.
that enjoyment as well. Thank you for that.